Defensively, we created 4 turnovers and turned, most importantly, 2 of those turnovers into 14 points. We were 6 of 6 on PA. I correct myself, 5 of 5 for PATs, 5 of 6 at PATs. But there are 2 areas of the game that the Grizzlies really struggled in. Number one was special teams, giving up a kickoff return for a touchdown. But the other one was discipline. But if they can correct those 2 issues tonight, they're looking to go 2-0 in number 3 versus Medina.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, they did come out with the win last week in a crazy momentum-shifting, penalty-filled game that had to go down in the longest game in Art Wright Stadium history. Yeah. We don't know the facts exactly, but it was really long, especially when you factor in the fact we had a running clock by midway through the third quarter. So, yeah, contributing to that long first half was Grizzlies had 8 penalties of the 14 penalties that ended up mounting 133 penalty yards. That was the most since 2015 penalty yards that Grizzlies had. So that's the discipline we're looking to have tonight is, hey, can they correct that? Correct their discipline and focus and not make those penalties. Now, the Grizzlies offense was led by a dynamic 1-2 pitch. And we'll take a break here for the national anthem. Punch of Will Stack and Kyle Figure 8. Between the two, they combined for 315 yards on 39 carries, which was just a little over 8 yards per carry. Excellent average. Total 6 touchdowns and 1 2-point conversion. Kyle Figure 8 rushed for 21 times for 121 tough yards, 1 rushing TD, 1 TD receiving, which was a perfectly timed and beautifully executed screen pass that was dialed up for Figure 8, who rolled for 19 yards untouched in the end zone. Excellent job. Now, you also have to give props to the young offensive linemen, Evan Crowley, Gabe Lutke, John Byers, Brady O'Connor, Eli Kaufman, and Jordan Jones. They did a fantastic job executing the game plan and their assignments. Wadsworth had 350 total yards rushing, which was the most since September of 2016 for the Grizzlies rushing. So, excellent job. Defensively, defense had a couple mistakes in the secondary earlier in the game. Once they corrected those and cleaned that up, Wadsworth defense was pretty darn stout. Led by Parker Ross, in which could have been one of the best defensive performances in Medina County last week. He had 2.5 tackles for loss and a caused fumble that Noah Teller recovered. Tyler Prost had a game-changing forced fumble and was recovered by Gavin Madigan. In all, the Grizzlies defense itself created 3 turnovers on the night. Jacob Ernest had 1 tackle for loss and 6 solo tackles on the night as well.
Yeah, you talk about the 8 penalties in the first half. As you see, the Grizzlies are starting to assemble under the Grizzly Bear coming out of their locker room. Those are drive killers, and you know the coaching staff really talked about the penalties and how they kill drives. We put 49 points on the board last week. It could have been a lot worse for the Magics.
Oh, far worse. And that's what Coach strived this whole week was discipline yourself. A lot of those penalties, they weren't holding penalties and tic-tac penalties. These are penalties that should not have happened, hitting the quarterback late, well after the throw. Stuff like that, which should not happen. And he really keyed on that this week, tried to focus on that, especially. Also, the special teams effort, too, was there was one big mistake on that 90-yard kickoff return. When you do kickoffs, there's lanes, and you need to stay straight down your lanes. You can't weave, can't curve. And you got two young players got off their lanes, and one missed tackle, and 90 yards later was a touchdown.
Well, fortunately, that's a coaching moment for those young kids. For the Generals, they come in tonight 1-0. They are led by their junior quarterback, A.J. Lukowski, and will show multiple looks for this Grizzly defense. Last week, Lukowski played with composure and confidence, and he battled through some cramps there in the fourth quarter to lead the Generals over the Orville Red Riders. As we take a look at head coach Justin Todd in his 8th season, see his record at 50-28. Boy, he's got these boys, these young men, I can't call them boys, they are young men, fired up and ready to go here tonight. But Lukowski reminds you a little bit of Will Stack. He's got quick feet, he's crafty, he likes to roll out, he doesn't like to throw in the pocket. But if there's a shortcoming for Lukowski, he's not really looking to dump the ball off to his underneath receivers. He wants to go for the home run ball, doesn't he?
Every time.
And he has a go-to guy in number 2, Hayden Meese. And Hayden Meese with a big 78-yard reception last week against Orville that started that comeback. Now, the thing about Meese, he was injured midway through that fourth quarter. He is dressed tonight. We expect the young man to play here for the Generals.
He had a big game last week. Meese did 9 catches for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's number 2. He's a junior. He's 5'10", 170 pounds. He is their go-to receiver.
The offensive line for the Generals, they average about 270 pounds, and they're anchored by the big left guard, 6'4", 320-pound Jack Curran, and left tackle Keegan Johnson at 6'5", 280 pounds. This is the 56th meeting between Wadsworth and Wooster, and again, this is the final meeting. Wooster has decided not to continue with the series.
Yeah, it was 13 games we've had with them, and we're 5-8, or they're 5-8. We have 8 wins and 5 losses, and they've chosen not to continue. Last couple of years has been more lopsided, more towards Wadsworth, but very good competitive games. I can go back to the season when we played them in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a phenomenal game in overtime. So I hate to see it. I thought it was coming a good rivalry. Interested to see who we do pick up. I do not know that answer at this point in time. Now, the Grizzlies did win the toss, and they have elected to defer, so they'll be kicking off to the Generals. And number 0 is back deep, which is Anthony Signs for the Generals. He's set up about the 5-yard line, looking to receive Jack Dinwiddie's kick.
And we are just about to be underway, week number 2.
Kick is back. Goes into the end zone. And the Generals will start with their first possession at the 20-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see now their quarterback, Lukowski. Again, we've told him he's not afraid to run. But again, he's looking to throw. He gets rid of the ball relatively quick, but he's throwing it deep. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come out looking to do.
Yeah, the defensive line for the Grizzlies, Luke Ryder will be at the right end. Teff Teller at nose. There's Lukowski's line from last week over Orville, 16 for 28. You see the 237 yards. Not only did he throw the ball well, but as my partner Robert said, he can tuck it and run.
Franklin in motion, number 22. Faked, thrown off to Franklin. The swing pass, still on his feet. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 7 yards.
Now, one of the things that our backers have to do tonight is read their keys. Their keys will take them to the football. That's a good gain on first down for the Generals. A gain of about 7. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3 now for Wooster. Julian Franklin, a solid back for the Generals.
You will see him as a linebacker on the defensive side tonight. He gets that carry, picks up the first down as he makes one Grizzly miss.
Well, one thing is for certain, both of these teams, Robert, are going to come out fired up, looking to go 2-0 to start the season that positions them very well for week 3. As we know, Wadsworth has Medina next week.
Absolutely. And the Generals are riding that wave of that big victory, last second win over their arch rival, 112th meeting against Orville. And so they're high. They're looking to win. They want to end this series on a win.
Lukowski going to change the play as head coaches over there, Halter, recognizing something in that Grizzly defense will change the play.
Franklin with the carry. He's going to pick up a tough 2-3 yards on first down.
Now this is a football team that's going to try and grind it out between the tackles. Defensively on that front line, shed your tackle, get yourself to the football, and backers need to fill. 2nd down and 7 now for the Generals.
Quick pitch out to Franklin and well blown up by, there goes Gavin Madigan, number 23 for the Grizzlies.
Well, Gavin Robert does a great job of sealing the outside, keeping his head and his hips on the outside and forcing the ball carrier.
That brings up a 4-yard loss on the play. Went from 2nd and 7 to 3rd and 11.
And that's a huge play by Madigan. Now
Nice.
you force Wooster into a passing situation.
Rolls to right, throws. Caught by Signs. Number 0 for Wooster and knocked out of bounds.
I think it fell incomplete.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Fell incomplete. On the coverage was number 20, Simon Kilker for the Grizzlies. How big is that play by the sophomore Madigan? Forces them from a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 11. Incomplete pass, and now the Generals will come on to kick the ball away.
I said it last year when Madigan started all the games as a true freshman. He doesn't play like a freshman. He doesn't play like a sophomore. He's very seasoned and very intelligent on that field.
Probst back deep now for the Grizzlies to receive the punt.
Punt is almost blocked. Good bounce. Probst does the wise thing and gets away from it. So the Grizzlies are going to be taking over about their 20-yard line.
Well, there's a good way to start for the Grizzly defense. You give up a first down, and then you stop them on a big play by Gavin Madigan.
Big play. Excellent job. So our offense comes out. I want to talk about a little bit about it again. I named it Evan Crowley, Gabe Lucky, John Byers, Brady O'Connor, Eli Kaufman. Jordan Jones had a healthy rotation in there last year.
He did.
Here's our starting lineup here. You see Will Stack, starting quarterback. Not much more can be said. We asked Coach Todd about that. He goes, everything about Will Stack is you see it on the field. He's such a great athlete. And it looks like there must have been a penalty on this play, and they're going to make him punt it again.
Yeah, it looks like it was a false start, I believe, or illegal motion, one of the two. But the Generals will have to kick again. And, these are these early mistakes in a football game that as a head coach you really don't want to see, because now you really had Wadsworth defensively, if you're Wooster, in good field position after the roll.
Now we also not only Probst back, dropped Gavin Madigan back, number 23, who was closest to the bottom of the screen. We'll see if where they kick it to. There's another penalty flag. Probst is going to, nope, they're going to get away from it and let it bounce. Let's see what this.
That's about net 10 for the Grizzlies if this holds up. We'll see what the call is from the official on the near sideline who did throw the flag.
One thing we didn't mention is on the first play of scrimmage last week, Lemp got hurt. We do not know his status. We know he's not playing tonight as far as we're aware. We do not know his status. Hopefully the young man's only going to be out a week or two. But we do not know.
Illegal motion once again by the Generals, and that'll move them back. We'll try this again for the 3rd time.
Maybe this is the field this week, because Barberton and Wadsworth didn't do much better in the penalty situation last week, and I'm fine with Wooster if they have all the penalties, as long as we're not here at 9:30 at the end of the half.
Was it 8:45, I think, last week before we hit halftime?
Now, interesting here. I wonder if they're going for the block, because now Probst is back by himself this time. Gavin Madigan is up on the line of scrimmage. Let's see what happens here. Yep. Looking, they're coming after this one.
Kalen Braxton to kick it away for the Generals.
Kick is away. Prost has it at the 40. And boy, the Generals do a nice job getting down there and tackling Prost. He had not a lot of room to run.
Charlie Williams on the stop, along with number 45, Archie Melee on the stop for the Generals. But, 3 punts, and Wadsworth actually gets around 25 yards plus after the 2 penalties.
Nothing wrong with that. Great field position to start the Grizzlies' first drive.
We'll take another look at that offensive lineup for the Grizzlies. Boy, you got Stack, Figueroa, and in the lineup this week, Drew Jones, a wideout for Wadsworth.
Gavin Madigan is in that slot. Second receiver in at the bottom of the screen, number 23.
One of the keys for the Generals tonight defensively to really stay in this football game, obviously Wadsworth is going to try and run that football between the tackles. Their backers are going to have to come up and fill.
It's Madigan in motion. Now Will Stack keeps it, and there he goes. Off to the races we go, down the sideline, showing his 4.5 speed. He goes in, touchdown Grizzlies. No penalty flags, touchdown. Well, partner, that was pretty quick.
Will Stack on a 57-yard scamper quickly puts the Grizzlies up 6-0. I love the action to Madigan going across the backfield. You got your backers flowing, and they did not fill the gaps, and we had just talked about it. And Green, another but turf, stiff arm there by Will Stack. Stoops on the hold. Dinwiddie to kick.
Kick is up, good.
I think they may have jumped.
Yeah, there's a penalty flag. Yeah, they've shown Generals did jump off sides. So kick it again or try for 2?
Well, you're going to go for 2.
There we go.
Nope, coach is
going to go for 2.
He's going to go for 2. Well, we saw this last week against Barberton where the Magics jumped off sides on a PAT, and Will Stack took it in off the right tackle.
Yeah, there was just enough time to Will Stack catch his breath now, so he can come back out and run it again. We got Figure 8 to the left of Stack. Stack keeps it, cuts it up, gets the 2-point conversion. 8-0.
Yeah, I really love Will Stack's eyes on that. He saw that the linebacker was going to hold contained. So what does Will do? He says, you can contain. I'm going to cut it inside and get across the goal line for 2. Nice job by Will Stack. Reading the block. Great block there by number 78 of the Grizzlies. That's Brody Hall, the sophomore, 5'11", 225 pounds. That's a good kick-out block. They'll show that one in the film room on Monday.
Yes. And we can't ask for a better start both offensively and defensively for the Grizzlies.
We look at Will Stack, the senior quarterback. He's knows this offense inside and out. Not only is he quarterback, but he's played the H-back. He's played wide receiver. He basically knows every position on the offensive side of the football.
Well, he was going to be the backup quarterback last year, from the get-go. So he learned the position, and Coach Todd talked him into playing receiver last year. Obviously, a great decision. Very talented.
Yeah. He had 4 touchdowns last week, 1 in the air, 3 on the ground, 194 yards.
Yeah. Look at that. What kind of average that is?
Yeah, 1 passing.
Yep. That's over a 10-yard average.
Yeah.
And he didn't do no damage to his average there on that carry.
57 yards on 1 carry. He's averaging 57 yards. Offensively, you got to, again, tip your hat to that offensive line. They create the hole for Will Stack, and when he gets into the second level, he's just a tough back to catch up to.
He's fast. He runs a 4.5. You can see the speed as he pulled away from pretty much everybody on that field.
Dinwiddie's kick is up and away.
He's taking at the 1. Number 0 signs. He brings it up and gets across to 25. Tackled by number 1.
Sean Kincaid on the stop for the Grizzlies. And a nice job on the kickoff return, Robert. I was watching. They all stayed in their lanes.
Very important. I mean, why it's important is usually about 5-6 yards at most that are apart from each other. If two players go wide from each other, that 5-6 yard gap now could be 10 yards, and that's a huge hole.
Yeah, you're really creating a giant hole that a bus or a truck can get through, and
or even you or I could at our advanced age.
I wouldn't get very far.
So let's see if the Generals can respond. That is pretty deflating, that quick score, especially after all the penalties they've had offensively and on the punt team. Mikowski hands it off to Franklin, who gets just lit up by number 9.
That's Luke Ryder. Well, Luke gets into the backfield right away and almost disrupts the play and creates a fumble, but it's a tackle for a loss for the right end, Luke Ryder. I mean, he's so fast off the ball. Look, he just gets into the backfield, makes the tackle for a loss.
Right now you got Luke Ryder. You have Noah Telfeller in there at nose, number 77.
And Wise, I believe, is on the left end.
Number 5, yep. Looking to throw. Caught. I think that was covered by Madigan, number 23 on coverage. Or was it number 20?
That was Kilker on coverage. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. I beg your pardon. 3rd down and 9, yes, for the Generals. Another passing situation for Wooster.
Secondary, you got Travis Graham, number 7 in there. Tyler Prost. You have Isaiah Kilker. Trying to see who else we got up there. We got Madigan, of course. Mikowski drops back. Thrown, intended for receiver number 23 and overthrown. Will bring up 4th down.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, the coverage on the play over there was Parker Ross, the linebacker. And it looks like Lekowski may have slipped a little bit on the release. Ball is thrown wide. And now the Generals forced to punt again. This technically is their 4th punt.
Right, technically their 4th punt. Both Prost and Madigan are back deep. It looked like it may have bounced off the back side of one of the Grizzlies and got a lucky bounce and went out of bounds. Looks like it went off of number 24's back.
That's
Tommy Hahn.
Tommy Hahn, yeah, I think it did make contact with Tommy. Fortunately for Wadsworth, it goes out of bounds. They'll take over on the punt at the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line with 7:10 remaining. Your Grizzlies lead it 8-0 on a 57-yard scamper by quarterback Will Stack and the Grizzlies' opening drive. If you're just joining us, Mike Elkins along with Robert Rickenbacker right here at Art Wright Stadium.
Beautiful Friday night, a little crisp, almost like a late September night here. A little overcast. Stack throws off to Madigan, who breaks one tackle. Down the sideline he goes before he's pushed out of bounds, crossing the 30-yard line.
32-yard pickup for Madigan on the catch and run. You see the play action fake. Madigan in the flat. Look, he just bounces off. And that, folks, cornerbacks, you've got to wrap. And you see that cornerback number 15, he's got something on his
Ball's on the turf.
Michael Wright's got his right arm wrapped up. It's tough to tackle when your arm's wrapped up like that.
Will Stack jumps back on that fumble. The loss of 3.
Makes it 2nd down now and 13 for the Grizzlies.
Kyle Figueroa.
34-yard line.
We've watched him mature over the years and just become a stellar tailback running back here for the Grizzlies, the dynamic duo. 30 career rushing touchdowns for the senior.
High snap. A good job by Stack getting it and handing it off to Figueroa, who just gets back to the original line of scrimmage, picking up about 3 yards.
Yeah, we talk about the important things, the little things being the important things, and a high snap kind of throws that whole timing of that play off.
So it brings up 3rd and 10. I'm sure this is probably 2-down territory here for Coach Todd.
Well, you've got
At
a
this
great
point.
field goal kicker in Jack Dinwiddie, as we've seen. He can hit it from 45 and 50 if needed.
Jackson Erkson, number 81, bottom of the screen with Figure Eight now in motion. Woolstack keeps it right up the middle. That's the first down. Crosses the 15-yard line before he's taken down. Well, we don't have to worry about 4th down here. Will says, I'll take care of that for you, Coach.
17-yard run by Figure Eight right up the middle. And again, the play action gets your linebackers flowing, which opens up the middle for the speedy, crafty Will Stack. Another first down.
Big old block there that sprung him a little bit too is Eli Kaufman, number 66, hammers at one of the generals that was in the hole. Another high snap. Will Stack just does a great job getting it before he's taken down for a loss.
Yeah, on the stop there is number 80, Ethan Shetler, who's a two-way player, and also number 12, who's down on the turf. That's Conrad Clems.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like he's boy. He's holding his back, or hopefully the young man's okay.
Clems is a 5'10", 210 junior.
Very odd position the way he's resting there.
See if his feet get tangled up maybe underneath. He lands on the left knee, it looks like. Figure Eight falling on the left knee.
The young man is up and jogging off the field.
Hey, see how he gets that left leg, that left foot underneath him, and the weight of that comes down. Both his weight and Kyle Figure Eight's weight. So Clems will need to step out for a play. I believe Wooster may have taken a timeout.
It looks like they're stretching him. Has high hamstring or low back. They're kind of trying to work something out, kink. So brings up 2nd and 13. So Grizzlies still have to work on this high snap that they've got going on here. Colton Levitt in motion. Figure Eight with the handoff. Gets up to the 11-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards.
Good block there by number 66, Eli Kaufman, leading the way for Figure Eight, holding on the Grizzlies. So that run will come back.
The Figure Eight was very patient in that run, trying to set up his blockers.
Ball now placed at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 21 now for the Grizzlies.
Actually, replayed the down.
2nd and 21.
Yes.
Thank you.
Will Stack looking to throw. High, intended, caught. Nice job getting back to the 11-yard line. Who was that on the catch?
On the coverage was Michael Wright.
Caden Shriver with the number 82, Caden Shriver with the catch. Drew Jones is in there. He's in the slot position. Second one in from the bottom of the screen. Will Stack rolls right, looking to throw. Thrown off, caught, and touchdown, Grizzlies, number 19.
That's Ryan Keaton on the reception.
That's good to see the ball get spread around now. Getting the playmakers all involved.
Ryan Keaton, a 5'10", 155-pound sophomore with his first touchdown reception of the season. Stoops on to hold. Dinwiddie for the PAT.
Kick is up. It is good. Grizzlies do lead.
We'll see where Keaton comes from. It's a backside drag. Nope, he's going to go in motion. and just get the ball out into the flat.
That's very tough, especially if no one picked him up at all. Nice job, nice replay, that touchdown.
Well, you're a linebacker there for the Generals. You got to wonder, do I step up because Will Stack has the propensity to tuck the ball and run, and as a backer, you've got to come up and make that tackle. But so he's caught really on an island by himself.
Yeah, it was that a linebacker or was that a safety that's supposed to pick him up in motion?
Yeah,
that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, that was Braylon Dawson back in coverage, and you also have to tip your hat to the Grizzly offensive coordinator, Justin Todd, simply because they recognize something in the defense to expose that weakness, and Will Stack able to find Keaton for 6 points, and your Grizzlies lead at 15-0.
Speaking of that, we were talking earlier before the game about the preparation the coaches and the time they put in getting the scouting report. You got to trust me, the scouting report that's given to these players that prepared is for on every single player, the tendencies and what they do and what they're good at and what they're not good at. And it's phenomenal, very detailed. I can't truly speak for anybody, other coaching staffs, but this has got to be one of the most prepared coaching staffs that gives this reports to the players that get them prepared to play. That's tremendous.
Yeah, the other part about that is don't forget, these are student athletes. Not only are they studying for the game for the week, they're studying in the classroom.
Sure.
And of course, this being the first week of school.
Picked up at the 3, surrounded by red jerseys, and down he goes. We're going to spot the ball back near the 4-yard line. Let's see. Oh, nope, they're going to give him up to the 9.
Anthony signs on the reception on the kickoff return. And, Anthony had a pretty good football game against the Grizzlies last year down in Wooster, and he's walking off the field with a limp right now. I got to wonder if he's not 100%. And we haven't called Misa's name tonight.
No, not at all. Not one time. And we haven't seen that deep throw that we're expecting that he's been like Likowski likes to do. We've not seen it. He's just quickly getting off. You guys think, did they see the pressure that the Grizzlies defense brought last week against Barberton?
Yeah, we mentioned Hayden Meese, number 2. We'll talk about him in just a moment after this play.
Franklin with the ball. Not much running room there. Maybe to the line of scrimmage.
Well, a nice job by the front line of that Grizzly defense shedding the blocks. But Meese
he's actually not in there. I'm looking 3-0-9.
Yeah, he's not on the field. You see him there on your screen. He's on the far right-hand side of your screen, number 2. He is their playmaker, and if he's out of the football game, of course he got injured last week in the fourth quarter against Orville, it could be a long night for the Generals to produce offense.
Looking to throw, brings it back down. He's chasing the end zone. Throws it away. Is it going to be intentional grounding is the question.
Now there's a receiver in the area over there, number 8. Calvin Backstrom was in the area. Oh, Anthony Signs was there.
Luke Ryder and
Wise, Zach Wise on the pressure.
Yes, absolutely great job getting in there. Number 55 for the Grizzlies checks in. Bryce Polzak at right defensive end.
Yeah, Bryce had a good football game last week also against Barberton. He's a sophomore.
Drops back in the pocket, now rolls left. There's a clip. Boy, there was a clip right in front of you. Bryce got just pushed completely in the back where he came up to make that tackle and just got literally pushed over. But
Sean Kincaid on the stop for the Grizzlies. Kincaid came from the far left side. Looked to be like he was on a corner blitz. And with Likowski running, Kincaid able to run him down and force Wooster into a punt. Yeah, Wooster has nothing going offensively right now. One first down, and that was their opening drive of the football game.
Their punter sitting up 5 yards deep in the end zone. Pressure's on. They get it away. Prost picks it up after a couple bounces. He gets hit near our own 45-yard line. I should say the Generals' 45-yard line.
And they'll mark it at the 46-yard line. We've got Great field position once again for the Wadsworth offense.
It's going to be first down and 10 now.
Yeah, like you said, they've got nothing going, and actually they seem to be kind of flat, honestly, Generals do. And again, did that touchdown run by Will Stack just kind of take the steam out of them? Who knows?
Well, you've got to be resilient. You know, you're looking at one football play of the game, but boy, Wadsworth can really pour it on right here. Up by 15 with 2:06 remaining. Metzger now steps in the football game.
Number 15. Metzger goes in motion. Metzger, fake handoff to him. Will Stack keeps it, bounces it right, and Will Stack's off to the end zone. He gets hit just as he puts the ball out. That's a touchdown. Almost exact same play we saw earlier, but Gavin Madigan went the other way. This time, Metzger came same direction.
Will Stack with a 57-yard touchdown run earlier in the first quarter. That one, 46 yards.
Now over probably 100 yards of rushing on the night on what, 2 or 3 carries?
Two carries. Well, he's got more than 2 carries, but he's got 2 touchdowns guaranteed. Here's Stoops on the hole, Dinwiddie to kick it. You see the stiff arm, and he just has the presence of mind to stretch the ball over the goal line.
Kick is up and good. Grizzlies lead 22-0 with 1:54 left in the first quarter. Everything going right for the Grizzlies here tonight.
Well, they're executing very well up front offensively, creating the holes that Will Stack and Figueroa and Metzger need to just get to that second level. I'm convinced that if you can get to the second level against this Generals team, you can put a lot of points on the board.
You got Stack with the great speed, Figueroa, who's going to lower his shoulder and bruise you, and Metzger, who, if he gets a chance, he's going to dance all around and make you miss.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of Metzger on the next drive. Well, if Wooster was riding this high wave in that win against Orville, they have been really knocked down at this point, down 22-0, still in the first quarter here at Arkwright Stadium, the Gridiron on Grandview.
Dinwiddie getting ready to kick off.
Well, as always, Robert, just a fantastic crowd here at Arkwright Stadium. What would you do otherwise on a Friday night when it's 70 degrees?
In the fall? Yeah. Be here in this high school stadium.
Absolutely.
If you see the crowd, the student section, it's beach theme. You can see there in their beach attire and leggings.
A couple of beach balls in the stands. We'll probably be throwing those up a little bit, having some fun. Great to see the student body out supporting the Grizzlies. Here we go. Signs.
At the 5. Number 26 is the first one to get there for the Ivan Rains. Does a nice job corralling signs on the kickoff return.
We called his number a couple of times last week against the Magics, Ivan Rains.
He pounced on a fumble created by Colton. Make sure I get the last name right. Levitt?
Yes, Colton Levitt.
Yep, caused a fumble last week, and Ivan Rains jumped on it, and that was a special teams play.
Yes,
that was done. Excellent job. So, they gave one away on that kickoff return, and they redeemed themselves a little bit. So let's see if the Grizzly defense can continue just to shut down this Generals offense. Still no Meese out there as a receiver. I do not see him. Fake to Franklin. Lekowski keeps it. He picks up a few yards.
On the stop there for Wadsworth is Zach Wise.
Zach Wise, Luke Ryder, and then number 53. I think it's 53 in there now for the Evan Crowley at right defensive end. A little rotation again. A lot of different players, coaches getting in there.
Yeah, Luke Ryder's now at the linebacker position. I beg your pardon. That was not Luke Ryder that I was referring to. That was Parker Ross.
Handoff was done to number 33, Charlie Williams.
Oh, that defensive front played very well.
Yes, very active.
Third down and 9 now for the Bengals.
Worcester's only had 1 third and short. That was a 3rd and 3 in their opening drive. It's been 3rd and long since.
And this is 3rd and 9.
Did you get all the little cheerleaders?
Williams in the backfield yet. To the right of Lukowski. It's dropping back. He's got pressure. He's dancing in, and he's going to go down for a sack. Which Grizzly got there? His number looks
Luke
like
Ryder.
Luke Ryder.
Luke Ryder on the sack. He was the first one there. A host of Grizzlies followed him. But that forces up a long 4th down, 4th and 16 now for Wooster. And they've got a punt once again.
Prost is setting up close to the 50-yard line.
Youth football night here at Cartwright Stadium. There you saw one of the youth cheerleaders along with the Wadsworth Varsity cheerleaders.
The future Friday Nighters. This, in fact, that's the end of the first quarter with the Grizzlies leading 22-0. In fact, it wasn't quite the youth program, but in middle school, Coach Todd singled out and saw Will Stack had that kind of talent to be a quarterback for the Grizzlies. He knew it then and watched it, and has been trying to develop it all that time.
And Will Stack, you look at his numbers last week. He was 18 carries, 194 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 passes. I'm sorry, he was 4 of 9 for 35 yards, 4 touchdowns. And you know what? He's also a cerebral guy. He's got a 4.2 GPA. Take a look at some of the highlights last week against Barberton. Again, that's that misdirection play, and Will he finds the seam and he shoots right through there. He's giving some high fives to the fans last Friday night. He's having a lot of fun. Stack again to the right side. This is the 2-point conversion in the first quarter that actually put Wadsworth up 22-6. And again, you see where those backers flow on the fakes to either Figueroa or Metzger, and that just opens up the middle. Such a great run-pass option offense here, and he runs it extremely well. We talk about him as a football player, but he comes from a pretty good line of athletes, doesn't he, Robert?
Just a tad bit. The history in that family is pretty incredible here. As the Grizzlies are looking here to defend, probably attack that after this punt. Yeah, we have some information on his family. Very rich history. We'll bring that up in between snaps here. Between Grizzlies almost get it once again. Prost has it at the 45-yard line, makes one general miss, and slides down near the 36-yard line. Again, the Grizzlies going to have fantastic field position. Each series, we're getting better and better starting position. So, okay, Will's an 18-year-old young man, mature beyond his years, calm and collected on the field. As Coach Todd has said, he's the smartest player on the field and pretty smart one in the classroom with a 4.2 GPA. He is blessed with 4.5 speed in the 40, gifted from his father, John Stack, who was a standout football and baseball player at Rootstown and still holds their career RBI record in Mount Union, a small college you may heard of. I'll pick up after the play. Will Stack rolls left, throws deep, wide open, cut, touchdown, number 19, Ryan King for the Grizzlies.
We got a flag on the play. It's going to be holding. That touchdown is going to come back, but yeah, he's got this in his blood, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, not only his father is a great athlete, his mother was no slouch either here. You may have known her name, none other than Jen Martin, who helped the Grizzlies girls basketball team win the Division I state title in 1997. And the bloodline doesn't stop there. Oh, no, not close at all.
Right?
Grandfather.
Yeah.
Great basketball and baseball player at Arizona State. Okay, when he's done there, he comes to the Grizzlies and coaches basketball, boys and girls, from 1984 to 2006. Now, the Wadsworth faithful may know this gentleman's name as John Martin, one of the winningest basketball coaches in Wadsworth history. 329 combined wins between the girls and boys. Back to live action here. Will Stack scrambling.
Yeah, Will had to make something out of nothing there. Coverage downfield by the Generals was very, very good. Stack having to reverse fields. gets a gain on the play. That'll bring up second down now and 13 for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so Woolstack comes from a very, very deep bloodline.
And that teaching, as a child he was growing up how much discipline that it takes to be an athlete and a coach. And that was instilled in him.
Figure 8 with a draw. Big hole up the middle. First down and more. In goes Kyle Figure 8. Penalty flag on the turf.
Yeah, that's in the area of holding. I'll see what the official calls. It might have come from the back judge.
It's the flag is sitting on the near 35-yard line.
Yep, holding once again.
So this will come back once again. So here we go. We get up quick. 22-point lead, first quarter. Focus. And coach is going to talk about focus, discipline, focus and discipline.
Well, we have a moment here as they mark off the penalty. Grizzly JV traveled to Barberton on last Saturday and defeated the Magics 50-12.
Grizzlies continue the dominance way from Friday night on to Saturday. Same thing happened with the freshman program this week.
Yeah.
A very dominant win over Wooster. The score was 46-8. So brings up second 18. Ball placed just past the 45-yard line. Stack dropping back. He's got a lot of time. Throws in and out of the hands of number 82 for the Grizzly, Caden Shriver.
Yeah, ball was thrown just a little bit too high for Shriver to come down with it. That brings up a long third down. Third down and 18 now for the Grizzly offense.
If I'm the Generals defense, I'm thinking Will Stack. He's the one gaining the big yardage. They spread him out, and Will keeps it. See what happens here. Will Stack looking to throw. Now he's got pressure. Now sets up his feet, throws, heaves it up high. Intended for Drew Jones, incomplete. Will bring up fourth down for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, out of field goal range for Jack Dinwiddie. So that will force the Grizzlies into a punch situation. On the kick for Wadsworth, number 32, Will Reese.
Will's first punt of the night coming up. See if he can pin him back deep. Number 0 signs back deep. Anthony Signs is that a senior, a 5'9", 165-pound receiver and defensive back. Nice punt. Takes a Generals bounce into the end zone where the Generals now will take over on the 20-yard line with 10:27 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a good punt. Unfortunately, got too much of it. Rolls into the end zone. Will come out to the 20 as my partner had just suggested. And first half, it's been the Will Stack show thus far.
Absolutely. Great offensive line play, great play calling. Defensively, just completely shutting the Generals down. Only one first down, I believe, other than early in the very first series.
And it hasn't been one person offensively or defensively. Obviously, Will Stack will get the highlights because he's got the ball and he's got over 100 yards rushing here in the first half. But boy, defensively, it's all 11 on the football field flying to the football.
Every one of them. Hand off to 33, Williams, who is just stacked up. I don't know if he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
I think Tefteller might have been the first one in there. Luke Ryder on the right side also in on the stop. Boy, Tefteller had a good football game last week. He didn't start last week, but he got in the football game and he wreaked havoc in the Magic's backfield.
Absolutely, and there's a rotation Coach Todd's been working on. They said they've been working on it all off season or preseason, if you will. And that's another thing now, with only 2 weeks of, not 2 weeks, but 2 scrimmages, you kind of don't know where everyone fits, and you kind of still got to work everybody in and see how they play under the Friday night lights.
We've got a whistle and I believe an equipment issue.
Yep. That's Ryder. Luke Ryder coming off the field with equipment, number 55. Checking back in, which is Bryce Holzak. Junior, 6'3", 185-pound defensive end, checking in the right side of the line.
This Generals offense coming in tonight, including Meese, had 6 returning starters. You're down to 5 now. We've not seen Meese.
Williams with the carry, bounces it out, picks up some yardage before he's knocked down.
That's a good open field tackle over there by Liam Russell, number 6, I believe. Or was it number 5? Number 6, Liam Russell on the stop.
Senior that played a lot on special teams last year.
Oh, he had a great special teams year last year.
Yes.
We ended up calling his number quite a bit.
Yes. Generals looking over the coach for play call. Sean Kincaid, number 1, is messing with the Generals, moving all around back there in linebacker position. Looking to throw over the middle. Incomplete, high.
Late flag, and they're going to call pass interference, and we'll take a look at it on replay. I thought he got there just when the ball got there. That's Tyler Probst that they're going to throw the flag on. But Robert, I believe Tyler got there just as the ball did.
I would have to agree without seeing it. That's what I thought. And it's hard to tell there. It was a high.
Yeah, the ball might have been just out of the reach. But you see Tyler's red jersey just in the right side of that screen. Or do they, pass interference. Well, Wooster gets a break, and let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Picks up their second first down of the night by penalty. Maybe questionable penalty. It was hard to tell.
One of the things that Coach Todd stressed this week with his football team is turnovers. We ended up forcing 4 last week. We haven't seen one yet this evening.
Shutdown defense, he'll take that every time, though.
Yeah.
But curious to see if Franklin's only on defense now. We got number 33, Williams, in the backfield mostly now. There's a handoff to Williams, who is just quickly met by 3 red jersey. And Tef Teller's one of them. Number 8, Parker Ross, is another one of them.
And looked like Gavin Madigan was in there. Indeed, he was. That's a tackle for a loss for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 11 now for the Generals.
Very, very active front 3, which helps the linebackers. When you disrupt that much with your front 3, that makes the linebackers that much more dangerous. Pressure. Mikowski's running. Caught. A number 8, it looks like.
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay, Jack Dosey.
Tef Teller did a nice job on that because he was able to force Likowski into a throw. Otherwise, Likowski would have turned it upfield for a gain, a big gain.
3rd and 4.
Luke Ryder back on that defensive end on the right side for Wadsworth.
Drops back, throws quickly. Williams caught it out of the backfield, close to the first down marker.
Now the Generals look like they got some rhythm going on offense. Again, this is a football team that was down by 17 against Orville at home and was able to come back and eke out a 33-31 victory over the Red Riders.
Very true. That was a first down. The chains did move. Now, A.J. Lukowski is a junior. He's 5'10", 175. Did play last year a little bit. Hand off to Williams. He brought down by
Hilker.
I think it was number 5 there.
Yeah, Zach Wise.
Zach Wise.
Yeah, Zach Wise. Short gain. Actually, a loss on the play of 1. Again, a number of TFLs. We'll take them. 1, 5, 7, 10. We'll take tackles for loss
all day long. Now the Grizzlies just need to refocus, and just shut the Generals down for another 2 plays. Looking to throw. Pressure off the corner by Madigan. Almost intercepted, but caught by the Generals' signs. Which Grizzly flashed in front of him?
That was Liam Russell was playing center field on that play and just nearly stepped in front of signs and picked it off. But it results in a catch and a first down for the Generals.
The Generals are driving now on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Wadsworth in zone coverage on that play. Russell did a nice job reading the quarterback's eyes and nearly jumped the route.
Williams has the carry, bounces it left. He's got some yards before he's run out of bounds.
A nice job that time on the Generals offense, sealing the outside of that Wadsworth defensive left side.
Going to pick up 5 yards. He'll bring up 2nd and 5.
As a head coach, he'll take that 5 yards on first down.
Every time. The Generals are getting life. Nice drive, aided by a few penalties.
Well, one of them was questionable in my mind.
I would agree. Number 4 in motion, high snap. Does a great job getting down. Throws off to the running back out of the backfield, number 33, Williams. Tackled by 20, which is Isaac Pilker.
Now, Wadsworth unable to run, Wooster unable to run, Robert, between the tackles of this Grizzly defense. Now you're starting to see them with these short drops just outside the defensive ends. Very short passes can turn into long runs for the Generals.
Williams takes it. I don't know if he was intended to keep it, but does not get very much. There may be 2 yards.
Parker Ross, Luke Ryder in on the stop. Also there, number 16 of the Grizzlies, Ryan Keaton. Keaton playing both ways tonight.
Number 16 is Jacob Ernest.
Jacob Ernest,
Yes,
thank you. I've got an old roster.
Williams cut down quickly after picking up 2-3 yards.
Yeah, looked like Liam Russell over there on the stop. Liam Russell with got a fan base here this evening. Liam Russell does.
If you ever met Liam's mom, she is a fan base all on her own. We love you, Julie.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Under 5:40 now remaining here in the first half. Grizzlies up 22-0 over the Generals. They are driving.
Brings up 3rd and 2. I'm sure this is 2 down territory for the Generals at this point. Williams with the carry and met in the backfield quickly by number 9, Luke Ryder.
Well, Luke just explodes off the football. And again, this is the second time that I recall in the first half where he's in the backfield as the exchange is taking place.
A 2-yard loss he created. Now, he didn't end up making the tackle. He slipped out of his grasp, but by that time, his teammates were there to help clean him up.
Evan Crowley was there to clean him up.
4th and 4. Generals are going for it. Now, Franklin does check back in, number 22. Sitting up to the right of Bukowski.
Look for Franklin in the end zone. He's on wide in the right.
Wow. That was a high pass, and they went up, and I don't know which General caught that, but that's a touchdown, and there's going to be a penalty flag interference on it all in the same, which will be declined.
They'll decline the penalty. He throws off balance, and they're going to call pass interference for not. Well, wait, we're making the assumption that it's interference.
Liam Russell, and I can't tell what the other, and Tyler Prost.
What a great catch, though, by number 10. That's Anthony Carmian.
Very nice job. Really goes up high and high points that. So brings it down for a touchdown.
So the Generals are on the board here at Art Wright. And boy, if the Generals needed life just before halftime, this was it.
That was it. And you got to tip your hat to them. Like you said, maybe they're a slow starter. They came back from big deficit against Orville last week.
Looks like they're going to go for 2.
Got both running backs in the backfield. Franklin to the left, Williams to the right. Fake to Williams. A lot of pressure. Throws it. Caught by Franklin, but he is just hammered. A whole host of Grizzlies and the quarterback, Lukowski, getting up slow. Number 8 for the Grizzlies, Parker Ross, helping up Lukowski after he put him into the turf.
Yeah, Kincaid was over there first on the stop against Franklin, and then other Grizzlies came in to clean him up.
So Generals do score. Grizzlies do lead 22-6 with 4:38 left in the half. So now for Grizzlies offense, they got to regain the momentum. Nice drive. You have all 3 timeouts left. You just need to go down the field and score. The only thing to stop the Grizzlies offense so far is themselves.
Say hello to our Wadsworth cheerleaders, Gianna Turano, Bree Perkins, Olivia Horobuski, Claire Ferguson, Gracie Swank, Abby Hansey, Lauren Sieber, Emma Lynn, Lauren Phelps.
CC Harrington, Meredith Heyer, Gina Richards, Lindsay Chastain,
yeah.
Kendall Smith, Chloe Karski, Lauren List, Sarah Nagar, and Molly List.
Yeah, cheerleading advisor is Peggy Galata. Cheerleaders, they bring it every Friday night. It is 22-6, 4:38 remaining here in the first half at Art Wright Stadium. Non-conference game between the Wooster Generals and your Grizzlies.
As we said earlier, the last battle of the W's for now. That we know of.
Yeah, that could change.
Yep. We are a Division I program, now small by the numbers, but Wooster is a Division II. Prost with the kickoff return, has some running room, breaks left. There's a penalty flag that comes out as he's taken down near the 39-yard line. And I would have to think that's on the Grizzlies, especially by look at Coach Todd with his hands on his hips.
And Kyle Figueroa pleading his case with the referee. They'll mark it off against Wadsworth. Coach Todd doesn't like the call.
Yep.
Well, I'm assuming he's shaking his head because he doesn't like the call, or he doesn't like the fact that we held, or we got caught holding.
But you can, as you know, and every coach will know, you can call holding on every single play. And it's a matter if you get caught, or if it's play side, or if it's really ticky-tack backside away from the play.
One thing about Coach Todd that I do want to mention is that he's made himself available to us here at WCTV. He's very welcoming to a lot of the questions that Robert and I have about his football team, about the program, about the team that they're facing.
11 o'clock at night, he's answering our questions where he would be, I'm sure, glad he would rather be in bed than answering our silly questions sometimes. But thank you, Coach Todd, for doing that. Appreciate that. And this is being his 8th year. He's really brought this program up with quantity of kids, quantity and quality of the program that he's running.
And now I think after Coach Todd has had his say with the officials following the hold call on the kickoff, we're going to get back underway here. Will Stack, and it looks like Metzger in the backfield.
Yes, it does. Metzger with the carry. He's got some running room.
I love the hit and spin by Nathan Metzger. Good gain on first down, a gain of 5. That'll bring up second down and 5.
I must show my age a little bit here and then. By no way saying this is this kind of player, but he reminds you of Perry Sanders a little bit. Short, twirling, twisting all over the place.
And again, I don't know if I can say it enough about the young man. He's just got a heart for football. He just loves it. Loves the football game.
Puts everything into it.
Figueroa back into the backfield.
Pistol formation. Hand off to Figueroa, who's met in the backfield, breaks one tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and taken down by a host of Generals.
Yeah, their first is number 22, Julian Franklin, the two-way player for the Generals. And, we talked about the momentum of Wooster on the offensive side. Now you may be starting to see some of that on the defensive side. They're a little quicker off the ball in this series.
Brings up 3rd and 4. Will Stack throws over the middle, intended for Drew Jones. He catches it, and he's got 2 or 3 yards on any defender. Touchdown, Grizzlies, no penalties. Now, there we go. I was just going to mention, we get anything to Drew Jones. He's one of those athletes that he's a great athlete, but been hurt over the last couple of years. And you just see what he did there. Catches it and runs away with it.
That's a 65-yard pass reception. And when you watch what he does is You got the play action fake, and then Jones just splits the two safeties, the corner and the safety, and he's off to the races.
Jack Dinwiddie coming in on late, lining up this extra point.
What a well-executed football play by the Grizzlies, and what a response to the Wooster score.
Yes. Jack's kick is up and is good. So Grizzlies answer, make it 29-6 with 3:20 left. Now, Drew Jones. Jones is a common name, if you will, but it's not a common name here in Wadsworth. Jones is a very, as you see a replay of the play here, Will Stack throwing it over.
I mean, it was a perfect pass right into his breadbasket, and he catches Jones in stride. And again, the play action fake, you'll freeze the linebackers, and then you've got to respect the run of Figure. And so the linebackers get caught inside. There's no help beyond the safeties, and the corner and the safety there, number 0, and I believe number 9 on the coverage also. That's Jack Dossie. He's a two-way player for the Generals. Drew Jones beats them both.
As I was saying, Drew Jones, that last name is quite famous. His father, Bobby Jones, Ohio State, let me correct that, Grizzly, oh boy, his dad's going to kill me here. When especially I say he went and played, he was a starter at Penn State on the defensive line. Sorry, Bob. But and then his brother Mike, older brother Mike, played at Villanova. His grandfather was one of the way back when semi-pro players in Canton history way back in the day. And Dad was a head coach here at Wadsworth back in the day as well. So there's a lot of Jones, a lot of history. Generals have the ball. Signs dancing around with the ball as he gets hammered at the 15-yard line.
On the stop, there is number 63 of the Grizzlies, Brad Watson, 5'10", 180-pound sophomore. Good special teams play there by Watson, the sophomore. You know, special teams is that opportunity for these underclassmen, sophomore, maybe some freshmen to get in and get that experience on Friday night.
Yep, get that Friday night's experience and start building for the future. Absolutely. As we brought up last week, we had 26 lettermen or something coming back. Again, that's all these players getting playing time when you can and or when they have the running clock. So Generals take over with 3:10 left in the half. They have all 3 of their timeouts as well. Franklin with the carry, bursts through a hole, picks up about 5 yards on first down.
Julian Franklin, football carry.
Running behind big Keegan Johnson at 280 pounds, 6'5", and Jack Curran, 6'4", 320.
Noah Telfeller down at nose guard. Zach Wise at left defensive end. Franklin with another carry, tackled for a loss. There he goes, number 8 again. Parker Ross, I believe, in there.
Another tackle for a loss for the Grizzlies. And now we're going to have a timeout. I believe Wooster has called the timeout.
Boy, I don't know if I was Wooster, if you would want to give Grizzlies more time on the clock. If they force us a punt, that's plenty of time for the Grizzlies to score one more time before half.
Yeah, that's a good point, partner. 3rd down and 7. We haven't seen Lukowski go deep yet here tonight.
Well, you see all the kind of pressure he's getting. The defensive line, the linebackers are getting on him. It's hard to sit back in the pocket or roll when you got that kind of pressure on you and throw deep.
Well, I got to imagine if you're going to go deep, you got to go play action just to keep the backers honest. And defensively, our secondary, we can't peek into the backfield here. You got to read your keys.
Yeah, this late, absolutely. One thing we bring up again is they're missing, their best. What we believe is best playmaker, receiver. Yeah. He's dressed but not playing. He did warm up. We did see that, but obviously his injury was enough that where it was a no-go for him tonight.
So money down for the Grizzly defense. 3rd down and 7 for the Generals.
Mannequin and Russell back deep in the secondary positions.
Parker Ross bringing pressure off the edge.
And he's got pressure coming. He's going to go down for a sack. And boy, he's dragged 2 or 3 yards before he's put on his back.
Zach Wise, Parker Ross, and number 55, Bryce Polchak in there for the sack.
Well, I think that's what Coach Todd meant about being more aggressive.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, Parker Ross came off the edge and just blew off the football and got into the backfield and disrupt that play.
Now, Luke Ryder, Zach Wise, Noah Telfeller, all the defensive linemen have a great night creating havoc here.
And now do you go for the punt block? You've got them pinned deep. Their punter's going to be about 3 yards from the back line of the end zone. I think you go for the block.
As long as you don't hit the punter, you get the ball. You got to get the ball.
Yep.
And one thing a lot of those guys do, they have the speed to get around there, but they forget to cross their arms or their hands, I should say. Because if they go put their hands straight up, straight across, the ball can go right through them. And you got to cross your hands
and pick a point in front of the punter.
Ball. Yep. Yeah. But we've been close, very close several times here tonight on getting that.
We may be setting up the return with Madigan and Probst coming out, partner.
They're setting up on the general side of the field. 49, 50-yard line. Yep, setting up for a return. Kick is to Madigan. Madigan comes up under it near the 48.
That's Probst.
Oh, sorry, Probst down the sideline. He may go in and score. He does. Punt return for a touchdown, Grizzlies. Wow, nicely done.
How about the senior 5'9", 165 on the punt return, 50 yards for a Grizzly touchdown.
Wow. That's a special teams play Coach Todd likes.
Now, you win. There's 3 areas in the football game, right? Offense, defense, and special teams. And right now, Wadsworth is winning in all 3.
And Coach Todd said, he promised us before last week, they've been practicing special teams just as hard as any other thing. And they re-emphasized it this week. Seeing some more dividends here, especially after the first week. We always say the first game of the season has those mistakes and flush out those errors. Special teams is a big part of that in the first week. Grizzlies dominating on all sides tonight.
Stoops on to hold and Dinwiddie for the PAT.
Kick is up, but I think there was a whistle before.
Delay of game.
Delay of game. Okay.
25 seconds is showing on the play clock, which is located on the north end of the stadium.
Coach Todd just got an explanation, but I'm not sure Coach Todd buys it. But let's see what happens. Yep.
Well, Dinwiddie will do it again.
He has the leg, but he may start to be getting tired here. All the kickoffs and all the extra points.
5-yard penalty.
But what a job by Tyler Probst.
Oh, and again, a lot of that, Tyler's one thing, and he uses the sideline, but you've also got 10 guys blocking for you, and they all did such a phenomenal job to free Probst for the punt return for a touchdown.
Kick is up, and this is good. Grizzlies add on to the lead, makes it 36-6, which is the running clock if it remains this way going into halftime.
2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first half.
Now, this is why Coach Todd is on the sidelines, and we're up here. We talked about punt block, and he's like, how about we just return it for a touchdown? And it's a 42-yard return for a touchdown. And Probst turns on the burners right there. A little stutter step a little bit.
Oh, and number 22, Franklin, just tapped him. Didn't even try to make a tackle, just tapped him. That tells me someone's done for the night.
The athlete can buy and possibly win $700 or more by
30-point advantage for the Grizzlies. 2:12 remaining now in the first half. And as my partner had just alluded to, in the second half, if it remains like this, it'll be a running clock. That'll be 2 weeks in a row that Wadsworth forcing a running clock.
We'd love to force one next week against Medina Bees, but I'm just be happy for a victory. Medina is loaded again, back with the player of the year offensively last year in Stoddard, quarterback.
I don't want to look too far into the future, but here in the second half, we'll get to see a good look at some other players, hopefully.
Yes. Interesting to see the young Stoops at quarterback possibly. Taken by Signs, the Generals. Tackled as he crosses the 20, down near the 22, 23-yard line.
Looks like Kincaid on the stop. Also on there, number 36 for the Grizzlies. That's Cooper Gray, the sophomore.
Cooper Gray made the stop for Wadsworth. Generals take over first down and 10 now with the ball now on 22-yard line, 2 minutes.
Offensively, everything is working for Wadsworth.
There's only one series that didn't, and we shot ourselves in the foot with penalties. That will happen to any team. But other than that, been lights out on every phase.
Well, Coach Todd has talked so much about the improvement. The quality of a football team is improvement between week number 1 and week number 2, and we have seen that here tonight.
You become a good team that distance between first week to second one. Wow.
On the stop again is Luke Ryder. No, I
Parker
Parker
Ross.
That's Parker Ross again for another tackle for loss.
From here, they're 8 and they're 9 on their jersey, especially crumpled up a little bit. It's tough to tell from here.
I believe that. I don't have a stat book with me, Robert, but that's probably the 4th tackle for loss for Parker Ross.
Another phenomenal Friday night for that young man. But again, you got to give credit to the defensive line who are eating up some of those blockers, confusing the blockers, allowing Ross to run free at sometimes. Ross dancing around now steps back. Bukowski's keeping it, runs right up the middle, just gets his feet tripped up. Can't quite tell who the secondary came up and got that. He's number 44 for the Grizzlies, who that's Casey Hill in there, linebacker. Senior, 5'10", 170. Tripped him up.
Checking in is Polchak on the right side now for that Grizzly defensive line.
Under a minute left in the half. Bukowski throws over the middle. Caught. Number 80 catches it, which is Ethan Shelter.
Gavin Madigan on the stop for the Grizzlies. 4th down and now 2 for the Generals.
37 seconds left. So,
What do you get the ball back here and take a shot for the end zone maybe if you're Wadsworth?
Yeah, there's only a few seconds between the game clock and the play clock here. So you let this clock run all the way down.
Try and get Wadsworth to jump off sides.
You really want to make this the last play of the half. You don't want to give, even if it's 4th down, you don't want to give the Grizzlies a shot at the end zone or a field goal here if they don't make the 4th down.
And a reminder, Wadsworth will get the ball to start the second half.
Williams with the carry, and that will do it for half. A fantastic first half for the Grizzlies all the way around. 36-6, and will be a running clock in the second half, and we receive the kickoff in the second half. So, excellent job. Well, what do we got here? They're calling the players back onto the field. Must be a defensive.
1 second left.
Oh,
Saying 1 second remaining.
Wow.
In the half.
So, Coach Todd could put Jack Dinwiddie in there for a long field goal. Or do they try to put an end zone with a pass? Jack Dinwiddie
he's on to
is
kick.
on the kick. 1 second.
This would be a 46-yard attempt by the junior kicker.
He does have the leg.
Stoops to hold.
Snaps back. Kick is up. He has the distance. It's wide left. No good. Had the leg.
Yeah, he just hooked it. He just hooked it. Goes
Great
wide
effort.
left.
Well, fans, enjoy the halftime show. I'm sure Dana Heyer and the Wadsworth Grizzlies will rock us out like they did last week. We'll have some AC/DC we heard, some Metallica last week. We'll see what she brings this week.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. You guys enjoy the halftime show.
I have a water and a Diet Coke on the announcement desk. Huh?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's halftime, and the Wooster City Schools
Proud to present their 2023 Wooster High School Marching Band. We open tonight's show with a one-hit wonder from the band, The Knack. Here is My Sharona.
I should do that. Yes.
For our second selection, we are proud to feature our majorettes and color guard under the instruction of Diana Pendel and Angie French. The year 1986. The
All my
hair
friends are like,
big,
where are you?
the pants
Yeah.
tight. The singer from New Jersey. Here is the chart-topping single from John Bon Jovi. You Give Love a Bad Name.
Respond, I'm on top of the press box. Oh, right below you. Our final tune today is inspired by the world's most popular sport,
Soccer. The World Cup is the world's most inclusive and popular sporting event. Every 4 years, fans from around the globe tune in to see their country compete against the world's best. The official themes of the last 2 World Cups are featured here, as performed by artists such as J-Lo, Shakira, and Pitbull. La 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 and We Are One are combined into our World Cup medley. Marching band is under the direction of Fred D. French. This is directors Dan Fletcher and Heather Walters. Our color is under the instruction of Andy French and the director under the instruction of Diana Pendel. Thanks for listening and have a great evening. Let's go home.
We need a shot of the announcers in the booth. A good pitch. A good pitch. I think maybe after the game I'll have them sit there. Oh, like a camera shot. Okay, so I've been thinking. Johnny Nelson. Come up with ideas. I mean,
Now, under the direction of Dana Albrecht Meyer and Sam Keel, percussion director Ryan Louie, percussion arranger David Seltzer, color guard directors Vanessa Lloyd and Jessica Corson, and front ensemble coordinator Adam Quiz. This is the 2023 Wadsworth High School Marching Band. On the field, the band is led by leaders Anna Wallace, Ethan Kuznick, and Jake Rolla. We begin tonight's heavy metal halftime with AC/DC. Lead guitarist Angus Young was asked to respond to critics that said all 11 of their albums sounded exactly the same. He said, "I'm sick of people saying that. In fact, we've made 12 albums that sound exactly the same." Their 1980 Back to Black album has sold 50 million copies. And tonight, Anna Wallace leads the title song. Here is AC/DC's Back in Black. What would a heavy metal show be without songs from Metallica? Tonight's first Metallica selection sold 30 million copies worldwide. Despite it being based on the concept of childhood nightmares, NASA Mission Control would use it to wake up the space shuttle astronauts. We feature color guard performer Maddie Wegman as Jake Roebuck leads Metallica's Enter Sandman. inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009, Metallica played both Enter Sandman and our final heavy metal song. This Metallica song was the first heavy metal recording selected by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, and remains the most played heavy metal song of all time. We feature color guard performer Sidney Houston as Emma Wallace leads our band in Metallica's Master of Puppets. We hope you enjoyed tonight's heavy metal show. This is the 2023 Wadsworth Grizzlies Marching Band.
Well, we welcome you back to Arkwright Stadium. Mike Elkins, along with Robert Rickenbacker. The Grizzlies out to a 36-6 halftime lead, and what an impressive showing by the Grizzlies here, Robert, with the stats.
Absolutely, a phenomenal job. I want to say what a great job the Wadsworth Band also did. Dana Heyer and two Metallica songs, Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman. As we see the first half stats, dominated on all sides of the ball by Grizzlies. 250 yards of total offense to 88 yards total offense for Wooster. You know, we do lead the category in penalties once again. I'm sure Coach Todd's not happy about that, but
yeah, we had two 15-yard penalties with the pass interference. Yeah.
Yes. So that was a big yardage there. Again, the penalties solely was only cost us one possession, a touchdown, and also allowed the Generals to drive down the field on penalties and get in back at one time back into the game. Now, at halftime here, running clock, and when we come out, we will get the ball first. Again, and we were talking about at halftime what Coach Todd would do, and I know it's Frosty at one time was, and I haven't asked him the last couple of years, but Frosty was at one time. Even if you're up big, your starters come out in the first series, so they know how to come out after halftime. After halftime, for 20 minutes down, so they know how to restart and redo it. Because they're going to need it in the playoffs if they get that far. I'm looking way down. They got to be able to come out in a tough ball game and be able to restart it after halftime.
Absolutely. They've got to know how to come out and to continue that football game, whether it's a 30-point advantage or you might be down 30 points. Lord, we don't want to see that.
Speaking of down in the game and our next week's opponent,
Yeah,
looking forward ahead, but
we have a surprising score. Olentangy Lewis Center 22, Medina 6. Now that ball game last reported was in the third quarter, and Robert and I talking at halftime. We're thinking, what's happened to Medina and the all-state performer Stoddard?
Yeah, the only thing, he's a big-time running quarterback. Hopefully he did not get hurt.
Speaking of big-time quarterbacks, look at this one. Will Stack, this is the 57-yard run. First play from scrimmage from the Grizzlies to start this one out. And quickly, the Grizzlies were up 7-0, and here's Stack again and does a nice job off the kickoff block, kicking it, cutting it inside for another score. And this time, I believe he finds Aaron Keaton.
And he came in motion across the side, dragged. It wasn't a drag as a defender would do, but Will Stack keeping it again right up the middle.
Yeah, this
breaks it out wide right.
Yeah, this was the 46-yard run for a touchdown, and he just stretches that football across the goal line, and this is the last score, the pass play to Drew Jones.
Great to see Drew Jones get back in there running and is healthy. He is a great high jumper in track and field. As you see the lone touchdown by the Generals.
Anthony Carmian on the score, and then here's the punt return. This is Tyler Probst.
As you see here, number 22 comes flashing in here, has a chance to make the tackle, and just taps him.
Yeah, he just patty cakes him.
And that's not going to go well in films tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. As you see a good look at Parker Ross walking across the field.
Wadsworth won the coin toss and then deferred to the second half, so we assume they will take the ball. And once again, after the kickoff and the first snap from scrimmage, we'll be at a running clock, and that's the officials likely reminding Parker Ross and the young man from Wooster of that.
It's a wonderful night here at Wright Stadium. It's something Coach taught, they talked about the theme of the week was discipline this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this one quote you put in here. Is the responsibility is about making the most of the present to create a better future. Everyone wants things to change, but nobody wants to change. It's easy to blame. It's hard to take the responsibility. I thought that was a phenomenal statement that Coach Todd put in there. It's true. No one wants to take the responsibility, but they want change. It's a great statement there. Looks like Metzger. Is that Metzger to the bottom of the screen? Yep, that's number 15, Metzger. And Probst, Tyler Probst, setting up back deep to take the kickoff. They're setting up at the 5-yard line currently.
Again, the Generals last week coming back from 17. They've got a long way to go against a very talented Wadsworth Grizzly football team, both offensively and defensively. They've really played well tonight. A few miscues, as we talked about. They've taken care of the football, no turnovers, a couple of penalties. You could say can go. They're 50-50 flags, really.
So here we go. Second half kickoff. Boom back deep. Looks like Metzger's going to take it near the 10-yard line. Past the 20, 25. Gets knocked down as he crosses the 30 and falls down near the 33. Nice kickoff return by Nathan Metzger.
Yeah, good starting field position for Wadsworth. Charlie Williams on the stop there for the Generals.
First and 10 now for the Grizzlies, about their own 33-yard line.
Oh, yeah, we do expect to see the starting units out here, at least in the first series, offensively and defensively.
And that's what I say. Kyle Figueroa going out there. Metzger is out there. Will Stack is out there. Drew Jones.
Eli Kaufman, John Byers out there. Brady O'Connor, Kevin Crowley.
Metzger in motion. And off the figure eight.
Figure eight's met at the line there by number 80,
Yep. Just back to the line of scrimmage.
Ethan Shetler.
Madigan checks in. Colton Levitt is in, number 85 at tight end. Drew Jones. Number 19, Ryan Keaton at the bottom of the screen. And Drew Jones. Now Madigan is in the slot. Motion by Madigan. Takes the jet sweep, but nice job by the Generals clogging. Oh, no, it's Figure Eight on the jet sweep.
Yeah, number 4, it was Tristan Walker on the stop, along with number 67, Andrew Yaskiola.
So it brings up 3rd and 7 for the Grizzlies at the 36. Drew Jones is at the top of the screen. Number 2. Number 28, Figure Eight, is in the H-back formation. I believe Metzger is in the tailback. Will Stack throws it to Drew Jones. Catches it, tips it back to himself. What a catch by Jones. Just outreach hand and just caught his fingertips. He tips it back to himself for a great, spectacular catch.
Yeah, Robert, it's a similar play that we saw in the first half where he splits the corner and the free safety, and they got away with a face mask there as well, did the Generals, but huge play.
Figure Eight with the carry right up the middle.
Kyle Figure Eight, the ball carrier.
We talk about Will Stack and his halftime stats, over 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards passing.
Yeah, just seemingly at will. And really, Will is his name too, but just simply just whenever he wants it. And that's a testament to Coach Todd and his play calling, the offensive line, and young Will Stack as well.
And Drew Jones with the ability to tip that ball back to himself.
Figure Eight followed his blockers. Nice patient run.
Kyle Figure Eight, the ball carrier.
Get close to a first down.
Yeah, Kyle has that ability with between the tackles to really bang it and be a bruiser, but he's also one that can show patience on the outside and let his blockers set things up. And down is number 80. That is number Ethan Shetler. And boy, if you're missing Meese and Shetler goes down,
that's another two-way starter.
Yeah. Ethan Shetler is a senior, 6'3", 230 pounds.
The game will now be played with a running clock. Per Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Clock will stop during injuries and change of possession.
It looks like they're looking at his shoulder. His left shoulder is what it looks like.
Yeah, he's walking a little gingerly, dropping that left shoulder. You know, you've ever had one of those stingers, they will hurt for a while.
Lights you up, and depending on how much damage, that's a weakness at that point, which could cause you could play, but you get hit the wrong way, create more damage. Okay,
1st and 10 now on the 10. 20.
Metzger in the H-back. Figure Eight in the pistol behind Will Stack. Got number 82, Caden Shriver at the bottom of the screen. Hand off the Figure Eight. Big hole. In goes Figure Eight. Touchdown, Grizzlies. No penalty flags.
2 really good blocks on that play, Metzger being one of them, and then the second one was from an interior lineman. We'll take another look at it. You see the guard pulling, and there's Metzger on the block.
We have another General down in the end zone.
We'll get you a number on that Wooster General that's down. It's like number 15.
Yes.
Michael Wright.
Starter on the defensive side.
Wait, Michael started. He has that. He may have a cast on his right arm. You see, he's got that pad on it, and could be a cramp. I know Wooster last week in the Orville game had a lot of players cramping.
He was grabbing his right shin. Yeah, he's getting up limping like it is a cramp. Good to
Take
see they're
another
up.
look at it. See Figueroa, and then Drew Jones just kind of, he's got his hands on him, pushes him as Figueroa crosses the goal line, and it's like he just may have cramped at that point.
Yep.
42-6. Dinwiddie on for the PAT. Stoops to hold. Dinwiddie is 5 of 5. Right? We had 1 2-point conversion.
And one nearly,
45-yard field goal. Yeah.
Field goal. Just was a little wide left. Snaps back. Kick is up. Kick is no good. I think that went wide right this time. He must be getting tired. All the kickoff duties.
You might have jinxed the young man earlier.
Oh, man, I hope not. The young man's a great wrestler
He's a
in the wrestling program here in Wadsworth.
great kid overall. 42, Jack Dinwiddie. Again, he's number 30, correct me if I'm wrong, 33 in the nation in class of 2025, number 2 in the state of Ohio as a kicker.
Yep. And he has a whole senior year left in front of him yet. And at least 8 more games this season.
Yep.
Hopefully far more. But it's been fantastic watching from a freshman.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
leg strength wasn't quite there, and just getting a little bit better and a little bit better. It's great to see. And he puts a lot of time in. I know I see stuff on Twitter every once in a while, him working hard in the springtime, kicking. That's great to see.
Back deep is Tristan Walker of the Generals and Anthony Sines.
So I'm sure we're going to see the defensive starters out for one more series, and then we'll see what kind of rotation we get in from there. John, you're looking for that 50-50, it looks like, over here. Okay, you got tickets all spread out.
I've got my winning ticket in there, Robert.
Okay. Taking that to 4. Signs. Reverses field after almost, and Travis Graham almost got some again. Reverses field once again. Still on his feet and finally taken down.
Yeah, that's Brad Watson on the stop, the sophomore.
That's the second one tonight by Mr. Watson.
Yes, Brad Watson with 2 special team tackles.
Or should we call him Dr. Watson?
Dr. Watson. I think he's just earned a nickname.
On the return.
So we do see a lot of the starters out there as we thought we would see. Noah Telfellers down at nose.
Raines is out there. Ivan Raines at the safety position.
Yep. And we've called his name a couple times last week and this week so far. That's correct. Glad to see that. He's a senior. Ivan Raines, number 26, a senior, 5'10", 165.
Now blowing it up in the backfield. How about that play?
And that was number 16, Mr.
That's Jacob Ernest.
Jacob Ernest.
Just coming in from the backside, untouched. Makes another tackle for loss for this Grizzly defense, Robert. Half a dozen or more.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to be in the 6-7 range for tackles for losses tonight. Handoff, and again, nothing doing. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12, they'll place the ball at the 18-yard line.
Zach Wise stepping out.
Tefteller on the stop for Wadsworth. Boy, he has played nose tremendously well over the last 6 quarters.
I actually like the rotation they have down the defensive line. Nice rotation.
Blitz coming.
Blitz in the end zone, being chased out. Throws on the run. Caught. Has the first down, still on his feet. Reverses field. Only one Grizzly to beat, and he does bring him down.
Now, what a great open field tackle there by Gavin Madigan. Saved a touchdown. Play is good enough for a first down for the Generals. Nice job here by Lekowski. He's able to evade pressure.
Like Houdini there, escaping out of the end zone.
Crowley and Ryder after him.
Oh, there is a penalty on the play. Looks like they're marching it back. Let's see what it is.
You see, this is textbook open field tackle there by Madigan. Jacob Ernest also. Illegal block in the back.
A blindside block penalty
So,
was called.
Blindside block in the back is what they're calling.
So
Brings up third. Brings up third and 4, somewhere in there.
scoreboard has 3rd and 2, but yeah, it looks 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it looks a little longer than 2, but
Ball from the 23-yard line.
Grizzlies getting a break there on the call. Empty backfield. Fake to Williams, thrown off quickly to number 4. He makes a couple Grizzlies miss. Does pick up the first down as he crosses the 30-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, Walker on the reception, but that play was made partially by Anthony Sines, who had a nice block on the corner for the Generals.
Looks like Liam Russell pushed out the General there after he picked up the first down.
On the 30-yard line.
So the Generals pick up their 3rd first down of the night. Hand off to Williams. He is just barely getting back to the line of scrimmage if he did there.
Again, between the tackles, the defense doing a great job all night long against this Generals run offense.
Parker Ross, Luke Ryder, all getting up from the bottom of the pile. Ernest was there as well.
Down by the proverbial middle of the Grizzly line. Second down and 12.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12. Williams to the left, far left of Bukowski. Drops back to pass. Throws off the number 4, caught. Ivan Raines, I believe, was on the tackle. Nice job corralling him in the open field.
Yep, Ivan Raines on the stop. And again, it's a long handoff. I mean, you can't run between the tackles. You got to try and get the ball outside and get some positive yardage if you're the Generals.
And they picked up 2 plus another 5, 7 or 8 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 4. Still, again, under the running clock at this point in time. Drops back. He's got pressure, has to get rid of it quickly. Incomplete. Intended for a General, number 9 for the Generals, which was Jack Dawsey.
Yeah, that's the first pass attempt to Dawsey tonight. The pressure coming from Jacob Ernest once again from the Grizzlies.
It's hard to set up in the pocket when you get someone in your face every time that quickly, very quick.
Now you could, you're up 42-6. You could just pin the ears back and go after the quarterback now.
4th down and 4, and Generals are going for it. Bukowski's throwing over the middle, almost intercepted.
Yeah.
Ernest in and out of his hands. Turnover on downs, and once again, Grizzlies offense going to have great field position. And the key here is let's see who all comes in for the offense here with leading 42-6, up by 36 points.
I see Will Stack in the huddle. You see the starters in the huddle there.
Here we go. Here's the 50-50. Let's see if Ryan Stack checks in. No, Will Stack is in. Number 3. Metzger is in. Number 66, Elon Kaufman. So we got a lot of the starters in. The motion goes. Oh, hand off to Metzger. It bounces it left. Outside, there's a penalty flag. Yeah, it looks like going to be holding on Grizzlies. Number 66 is going to get flag. Eli Kaufman out there on the end. Looks like. At least that's where the flag was thrown towards.
Look, partner, I got good news for you. Somebody else wants it, and it's not me.
Not you. Okay. Usually you don't hear that when you're hoping to win something. It's not good news at that point.
That means somebody else has won tonight, and congratulations to them.
They said somewhere over $800.
Over $800 in the 50, and last week it was over $1,000.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Wadsworth, for supporting the 50-50 here.
So bring up 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Metzger left of Wilstack. Hand off to Metzger, right up the middle. Got some running room. Picks up the first down and more. Off to the races goes Metzger. And pushed out of bounds after he crosses the 10-yard line.
Well, that's the shiftiness of Nathan Metzger. You'll see this play. You got Keaton in motion, so the backers have to respect the run to the left. They flow too far, and a nice job by Metzger. He holds onto the football, cuts it back across the grain.
Nice block by Colton Levitt. He came back in his H position, kicked out the blocker. Metzger fouled right up through. Nice job. And we missed the play.
Metzger stopped on a short loss on the play. A loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 now. Ball placed at about the 12-yard line, 11-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Down to almost end of the third quarter.
Metzger is going to get met on the far side there by number 54. That's Darian Mitchell, the 5'7", 250-pound sophomore. And that will do it for the third quarter, my friend.
42-6, the Grizzlies continue to lead, up by 36. So
some action around the Suburban League tonight. Talmadge is at Ellett. A report in the third quarter, that was 7-0. Stowe is at Barberton in the third quarter. That scores Barberton 7, the Bulldogs 0. Brecksville is hosting Maple Heights in the third quarter. Brecksville 7, Maple Heights 0. Hudson in North Canton. We wanted to see maybe how good is North Canton or Hudson. It was 7-0 Hudson in the third quarter. Berea Mid-Park is at Nordonia in the third quarter. The Knights were beating Berea 13-3.
So update on the Stowe Barberton game.
Yes, sir.
28-17 in the 13 now Barberton.
Okay. Do we have an update on the Hudson North Canton game?
Let's see here. Let's see what we got. As we're still in between quarters, let's see what we can come up with here.
Aurora jumped out to a quick lead over Painesville, but I have not received an update on that game since the first quarter. It was 7-0 Aurora.
Medina score Olentangy 22, Medina 20. Right back in the game in the third.
In the football game.
St. Ignatius men are up 14-10 over St. Ignatius at third quarter. Hudson 24, North Canton Hoover 0 in the third. Highland 28, North Royalton 0 in the third.
There we go. Back to action here. Start of the fourth quarter.
Will Stack brings it back down. He was going to throw. Now runs it right up the middle. He's going to bring up fourth. And it looks like 7 yards to go.
I think coach is going to send in Jack Dinwoody. And a good decision by Will Stack. You see you've got the run, pass option. The pass was covered. Will Stack, being the senior leader that he is, just pulls it down and just runs it up the middle. And that'll set up Jack Dinwoody. He'll be kicking from the left hash.
I think that was Cooper Gray, number 36, in at tailback there. He was in the pistol formation. Kick is up. It is good. Jack Dinwoody with his first three-pointer of the season.
Yeah, that from 29 yards.
Very good. So the Grizzlies move up 45-6. 11 minutes left in the game.
Special teams unit of Justin Todd reminding the young men, pretty simple. Stay in your lanes, find the football, put your head on the football, make the tackle. Yeah.
They've done a good job tonight.
So proud of this.
Coach Todd's face, like, huh?
I'm missing somebody. Where you at?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big number 99 for the Grizzlies, Zach Kiko.
They say, look, this is your opportunity to get in the football game. You got to pay attention, know what's going on. Yeah. And coach wants them in. I mean, he wants them to get in and have that experience. There's nothing like, playing on a Friday night in high school football. We had to ask John downstairs some of his Friday night stories. He's probably got a few, right?
Yes.
I heard John on the call on some of these back in the day.
Back in the day.
He's good. We had to get him up here. We had to swap spots with John Bernard maybe one day. I don't know if I could do his job though.
Paul Keels-ish,
Paul Keels is, I don't know. I don't know.
deep baritone voice.
Yeah, he's more Tom Hamilton.
Down goes Anderson.
I want to hear that out of John Bernard.
Kickoff down to the 1 yard line. Nice kickoff by Jack Dinwiddie. Big hit by a general taking out one of the Grizzlies. Tackled finally made near the 34-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage on the far side there by the Grizzly special teams unit. We'll see defensively. Looks like we got some fresh jerseys on the field. Number 51 in the football game. That's Nathan Garcia, the 5'11 senior offensive lineman. Also is number 24, Tommy Hahn, 5'11 sophomore at corner.
Casey Hill, number 44 in at linebacker. Tommy Hahn's in. They're looking to throw. Finds no one open and tucks it and runs and picks up near 5-6 yards.
Yeah, that's Lukowski still in the football game for the Generals.
Ivan Raines is in.
Sean Payne is in at nose tackle, the 5'10 senior, 205-pounder. Payne had a beat on Lukowski.
Yes, he did. Liam Russell's still in. So some of the starting secondary is still in there. Hill on the blitz. Ball is on the ground. Lukowski just picks it up and does a good job just getting back.
Yeah.
And picking up a few yards. Maybe a loss of 1 or 2 yards.
Payne and Liam Russell on the tackle for the Grizzlies. 3rd down and 8. Inside of 10 minutes.
And I believe number 91 is that right defensive tackle, Merritt Fortner.
Yeah.
The sophomore, one of the good-looking sophomores coming up. Lukowski on the run.
Nice tackle there by Liam Russell in the open field to bring down Lukowski just short of the first down, Robert.
Yep. This will bring up 4th and 1.
Well, Lukowski really has had a difficult night. One, you're not having, you can't get the run game going because we haven't seen Julian Franklin much here tonight. So we got to wonder about his health. And of course, Hayden Meese has been out of the football game and absent.
Excellent. Which is what we can tell was their playmaker. Changes their dynamic. A very young Wooster General team. Very few seniors. Lukowski running, throws, running to his left, which is very difficult for a right-handed quarterback. Rolling left and throwing.
Catches by number 10, Anthony Carmian.
Chains will move.
6'4" junior for the Generals. But that was the best throw, I think, of the night by Lukowski.
And the difficult one, rolling left, throwing when you're right-handed. You really got to square your body up to the line of scrimmage to get that ball off straight where you're throwing it. Under 8 minutes left in the game. Thrown quickly off the number 4 out in the flats. Make a couple Grizzlies miss and finally taken out of bounds by number 20 for the Grizzlies, which was Simon Kilker.
Tristan Walker on the reception for the Generals. Good gain on first down, a gain of 9, brings up 2nd down and 1 now for Wooster.
I see, I believe, number 18, Adam Heckel, in there as well.
Sean Kincaid on the near side. Also for the Grizzlies.
Hand off to Williams.
Yeah, he'll get enough for the first down.
Charlie Williams, the ball carrier.
Boy, I tell you what, the front 3 have really been dominant. Front 4, because you got to count the kids they've been rotating in there all night. But boy, they've been so tough on the Generals, creating havoc, creating tackles for loss all night long. Lukowski rolling left, looking for a receiver. Now he tucks it and runs. and taken down just as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe for a 1-yard gain.
So Sean Payne is doing a nice job at nose tackle. He's getting off the ball, shedding his block, and pursuing Lukowski, putting pressure on him. On that right side, Robert, is number 55. That's Bryce Polchek now.
Who's been rotating in all night with the starters.
Tristan Walker in
Fakes
motion.
the jet sweep. Lukowski's got pressure now, looking, still trying to throw. Now he's past the line of scrimmage. He's got to run it. Several Grizzlies there make the tackle. Ivan Raines was there. So was number 6, Liam Russell, to clean up the action. And Lukowski's getting up limping, and he's just got to be bruised and battered tonight.
Yeah, he's been a warrior for the Generals tonight, and it looks like you wonder if there's any more gas left in that tank.
Emotionally or physically.
Yeah,
I mean, both.
Yeah,
I mean,
both. He's played his heart out tonight. He doesn't have a lot of weapons.
He's rolling right again. As the receiver, Williams out of the backfield, makes one Grizzly miss.
Yeah, Williams stepped out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Trying to sidestep Liam Russell, number 6 again, and steps out of bounds. Liam will say he stepped out of bounds so he didn't get hit by him, is what Liam would say. Let's see if the Grizzlies here can hold the Generals and stop them from scoring. They're down near the 16-yard line. Goes quickly off to the receiver in the flat.
That's Tristan Walker on the reception.
He's near a first down. Yep, they're moving the chains.
Casey Hill coming up from the safety position, putting a stick on Tristan Walker. And is it Walker that's down? Yes, it is. Walker's got his helmet off. See if we can see what happened here. Again, Casey Hill coming in from the safety position. Put a stick on Walker. We'll see if John can run it back for us. 45-6, 4:36 remaining here at Arkwright Stadium. See Walker in the flat. Good downfield blocking there by the Generals. And then Wadsworth closes in to make the tackle.
We got several Grizzlies coming in there. I think, bent his left leg over, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy, not 2 weeks in a row here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it does not look good.
Oh, my goodness. So Tristan Walker is a 5'10", 170-pound junior for the Generals, and thankfully he's getting up under his own power. That's good to see. But you'll see how his leg gets twisted underneath, almost hyperextended. And he will gingerly walk off, and Tristan Walker, another starter for this Generals team, won't see the field for the rest of this football game, I would imagine. So you're down, through the Generals, you're down 3 key starters, down 45-6. Now this one's all but over.
Yeah, there's no miracle comeback coming tonight from the Generals like they had last week. It's been a thorough, dominant performance on all phases of the game for the Grizzlies here tonight. A lot of things got cleaned up from last week. Coach Todd has to be very happy and pleased with most things tonight. I'm sure film will not, you always find some things to point out and film to teach tomorrow. Lukowski throws, has a wide open number 80 in for a touchdown for the Generals.
It's Ethan Shetler.
Yeah. He looked like he was going to run it, and then still was behind the line of scrimmage and found a wide open Ethan Shelter for a touchdown.
Well, Ethan Shetler left the game a couple of series ago with an injury, so it's good to see him back in the football game, and a touchdown for the young man. And Wadsworth with her second score of the evening. On to hold is Micah Martinez. And Avi Aurora.
There we go. You got it. You got it right. You're worried about saying that today. We got General running on very late, down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Snaps back, kick is up. It is good. So they cut into the Grizzlies' lead. It comes 45-13, still with the running clock.
Take another look. Nice job by the Generals line up front. Plenty of time to throw. And Shetler just gets behind the linebackers in an open area.
As soon as quarterback touched that ball, you saw the linebacker, you saw the defensive back come up and release that receiver, his coverage, and he's wide open. So I would assume an onside kick here. You might as well practice it.
You might as well. Hands team.
And looking for a few more people who wants to be on the hands teams here.
And on Thursday practices, they do this. This is a constant drill for Coach Todd and his staff. They've got hands team, kickoff team, punt return, and you have got to have your ears tuned in to what the coaches are saying during the practice, because you never know what they're going to call.
So next week we'll be Grizzlies will travel to Medina. Bees.
Big football game.
Big football game. Battle of Medina for sure. We've come up short twice last year, once in the playoffs. Very, very good games. Unfortunately, we were on the losing end of them. Very great quarterback. Let's see who we got back there.
Cooper Gray is on the near side.
Yep. Far side, boy, it's difficult to see.
Bowden Bollinger, number 35.
Yeah, definitely was a 5 on the end of it. I can't quite make it out.
Bollinger would be a
Coach.
5'11", 190-pound. We call timeout.
Yep. Something wasn't lined up quite right, and Coach Todd wanted to make sure and get it right. He's got a timeout to burn, a few of them.
Why not? It's also a coaching moment for these kids. Recognize what's going on, and so we're at Medina. Next week ought to be a huge Medina County football game. I would imagine a stadium would be packed with Wadsworth fans and B fans.
Yep. And Medina, was trailing by 2 points or so late in the third.
They were on a run, though. They were coming back. They were down 22-6, and it was 22 to what? 18?
22-20, I think
20,
it was.
yeah.
Now, they have a very talented quarterback in Stoddard who is following Mr. Ohio and Drew Aller, who was supposed to be the starting quarterback at Penn State this year. And this young man, Stoddard, is quite the athlete. He's a gifted passer, but he also has no problem pulling it down, running for 100 yards.
Right. They are once again a talented football team with a talented receiving corps, much like we saw last year.
A lot of speed, and they throw it all around like they did last year. So,
well, one thing is for certain, Coach Todd will have this unit prepared for that football game.
Absolutely.
And I think you're going to see things perhaps next week that he hasn't shown yet.
I agree with you on that. Hopefully everybody's healthy. We do not know the status of Lemp.
What a football game by Will Stack, but Drew Jones on his first game back.
Drew Jones and the whole defensive linebacker core.
That's Bollinger on the return.
Still moving.
Just
7-8 yards after contact, which was nice.
Yeah. Again, he's 5'11", 190 pounds, a stocky fella. So we should get a look at Stoops here at quarterback.
Stoops is sophomore, 5'11", 195 pounds, so he's a good-sized young man. Number 21, stepping in there. He'll be the only one in the backfield.
See all the
empty set.
All the fans up on the fence. Robert.
Cooper Gray fake to him. Stoops keeps it around end, picks up close to 8 yards before he's corralled out of bounds.
As we get inside of 3 minutes remaining in this one.
Yeah, all the students up on the fence. Usually they're being told to get down by now.
Yeah.
They're just showing off their beach attire.
Oh, pass was intended on the near side there for
Simmons.
88, Luke Maddox.
Okay, could be Luke Maddox, yep. There's, I believe, 2 number 88s out there, Reese Simmons and a Luke Maddox, I believe.
Exit to the park, back to College Street. This is to the road closure on Major Street, south of the stadium.
And I believe
That's Cooper Gray on the carry, number 36.
so. I do see Mr. Lemp in a knee brace and then crunches there, number 13. Actually, he's wearing number 12 at the moment. Carson Bucks, maybe. Oh, he wasn't out there earlier.
The conclusion of tonight's game, everyone parked on the south end of our stadium in a grass area will be directed by police to exit through the front.
And a flag on the play. That'll be assessed against Wadsworth.
Major Street, south of the stadium. Thank you. Holding penalty against the Grizzlies.
Will Reese is in there as well. Cooper Gray picks up the first down and much, much more. He just flat out, almost completely outruns the Generals in a shoestring saving tackle.
And then a ball will be marked out at the 29-yard line of the Generals. And Cooper Gray showing some speed.
He's got quite the wheels, like his brothers, past running backs for the Grizzlies.
This is Stoops, left side.
He's going to go in, touchdown. Now there's a penalty flag. He's going to come back. They're going to get a hit in the back, it looks like. The flag sitting near the 15-yard line.
Now that will do it. Once they announce the penalty and mark it off, Wadsworth will just run the clock out.
And Stoops showed some speed getting around the
Yes,
corner
he
there.
did. I mean, there's some speed on this sophomore class.
And Max Hatfield, number 65, is in there. Looks like it's center.
Coach has got one more play.
Hand off to, looks like Cooper Gray. And that may do it for the Grizzlies.
Coach, if you had to pick a player of the game today, who would it be, Robert?
First half was Will Stack for sure. But I would say anyone off the defensive line.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal job between Luke Ryder and Evan Wise. It was just brilliant job there tonight.
I think
Defensive line.
defensively, Parker Ross gets my nod for player of the game defensively. Offensively, I think it's Will Stack and Drew Jones. But you got to tip your cap to that offensive line and defensive line. They played so well between the tackles tonight, and they're going to need that next week.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to need everything in the arsenal next week, except for any of these penalties. They got to clean that up. Other than that, they did a phenomenal job tonight. Evan Crowley, Gabe Lucky, John Byers, Brady O'Connell, Eli Kaufman, and Jordan Jones did a great job on the offensive line, opening those holes up and protecting Will Stack. So phenomenal job by the Grizzlies across the board tonight. Hopefully they get out of the game healthy.
Yes,
once again, and we'll come up next week against a very tough Medina Bees team.
That will be Medina will be covering it next week. We will carry that coverage out of Medina. We'll be back here. Next home game is September 8th versus the Twinsburg Tigers. That is the Salute the Troops night. So we want you to be here in your red, white, and blue. And many thanks to Aiden Uzinski and Joanna Perino upstairs on the cameras and John Bernard, our director downstairs. For Robert Rickenbacker, I am Mike Elkins. The final, once again, Wadsworth 45, Wooster 13 in the final matchup of the W's.
And good night, all. And enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.